Okay, we are live now. Okay. We have couple of students joined in the session itself here. Okay. Rest I'll take up the queries which are individual basis and someone who posted in the comment section on YouTube. Okay. Let me just cross check sound and everything, and then we are good to go. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Cool. ठीक है. It's good. So, Apratim, thank you so much for taking out time today, okay, for this small chit chat, casual conversation, and kind of making sure that all the students are pretty much comfortable before they begin their CUT UG journey, जो कि start होता है with your first thing first, which is registration. So, in today's session, Apratim will help us, guide us, will be your go-to man to ask any doubt whatsoever you have, starting with मतलब anything related to your UG registration, subject combination, even if you want to ask which course to go for, it's all sorted. He'll right there to help you. Okay, so over to you, Apratim. And first, if you could just introduce yourself and give us a small brief about this entire CUT UG journey, and then we'll take up the questions. Students can put it in the comment section or the chat window, all your queries you have in mind.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for having me here. I'm audible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be able to guide students to be able to give back what I've gotten from the community. So that's a big honor for me. And secondly, telling about myself. I'm Apratim Tiwari. I'm an SRCC final year student. I appeared in the CUT 2023 examinations. I scored an All India rank 1 with a perfect score of 800 on 800. Alongside that, in co-curriculars, I've also been a professional cricketer for a span of 9 years. So I've had a taste of all fields with respect to that. But yeah, it was a pleasurable experience being a part of SRCC overall. The 3 years that I have been, there have been a lot of learnings, and I highly recommend people who are preparing for COT to be very serious about their preparation, because that could actually lead you to somewhere you could never imagine. Because after leaving cricket professionally, I had nowhere to go to, but I prepped very seriously for CUT, and today I am in a stable position wherein I can thankfully, thank God and thank my parents and say that I am secure, my future is secure, and I have a path to look forward to finally. So yeah, that's more about it. I am more than happy for any questions or any discussions that we want to have around it.
Okay, with your the smooth introduction, I can at least pick out one thing that you have been an active cricketer to say, active participation into sports. At the same time, you were able to not only clear CUET, but clear it with the top rank as well. So this in itself helps a lot of students who in their 12th class, they are pretty engaged in their sports and all, meaning you can still crack, not only crack, but secure good rank as well. So I guess that's
Exactly.
some sort of motivation for all the students. So now
Yeah.
I'll leave the floor to students to ask their queries, their doubts, clarification, anything whatsoever is there. You can put it in the comment section and the chat window. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll also take up the questions which I have direct WhatsApp. So okay, so look, the very basic question that jotted down from them is key about the subject combination. Okay, that's a bit confusing at times. It's not as smooth as PG के case में. UG के case में you need a good combination of subjects. So can you reflect some light on that?
So are we talking about subject combinations required for the
Subject
CUT
combination.
examinations? Yeah.
Correct.
So see, it depends upon what course you're opting for. So there is a very common dilemma that I have recently seen between students, and I'm talking it from a commercial point of view because from a commerce background point of view, because I have done my BCom honors from SRCC. So students who want to go into such a background have a very common dilemma that they either go for general test or they appear for the domain subjects. See, that is, I think, and answering this question would solve at least 90% of the doubts that the students have with respect to subject combinations, because CUT requires you to choose domain subjects that you have appeared for in class 12 primarily, and a maximum of subjects that you can choose are five, including English and the general aptitude test, GAT. So, a very common thing is that we should go for domain subjects, or should we go for GAT if you're going for BCom program.
Okay.
So I generally suggest students that if you have prepared well for the grade 12 examinations, you should definitely go for domain subjects, because that is a fresh, firstly. And secondly, the syllabus is limited. There is a book prescribed,
Mhm.
especially like if we consider business studies, we have NCERT. For economics also, we have books prescribed. You can always count on them.
Mhm.
Whereas when we go for GAT, the subject is very fast. Anything can be asked to you for when we come to general knowledge, or when we come to quantitative aptitude. The topics are defined, but the questions are not defined. They're
Right.
not limited. So it's more easier to crack a domain subject rather than going for GAT.
Mhm.
But if you have not prepared well for a class 12 examinations and you don't have much time left, and if you think you are a problem solver, you can
Mhm.
crack the problems, then you should definitely go for GAT. But in most of the cases, in I would say a general scenario, I would definitely advise students to go for domain subjects that they have studied in class 12. That is the best option that you can go for, along with the language, which would preferably be English for most of us. And then when it comes to BCom honors, there is a dilemma between students to go for either mathematics or accountancy
Mhm.
as their core competency. So again, it depends upon the individual. How well have they performed in their class 12 exams? Most of the students are in grips with accountancy, but some are specialized in mathematics. They have a knack of solving mathematics problems, and they're not very good at accountancy. So for those students, they should go for. So you should be actually self-aware as to which subject you are strong at, and you should go with that subject, and you should back your own strength. That is the key takeaway I would want the students to take from here.
Okay. So what can I take out of this entire thing is first thing first that you should go for something which you have recently done. Okay, you're familiar with, and you have a strong hold in that. Okay. For example, when you talk about general aptitude, it's something जो आपने till 12th class you haven't even touched upon until unless you were sitting for Olympiads and other stuff. That's a different thing
Exactly.
altogether. But you never ever
Exactly.
touch and go for aptitude, right? Max to max, even if you sit out for aptitude, it won't be of that level जो यूजी में पूछा जाएगा. So best case scenario. Also, the another interesting point is कि you have that fixed curriculum, fixed syllabus for your subjects like accounts, business studies, whereas in aptitude they have a fixed topics, but the variety can be unlimited. You have n number of probability that can come up and they ask you doubts. So I guess whatever Pratim has said, that's spot on. You should go with your gut feeling in the sense that you have a stronghold you're familiar with, and that is something the right path to go ahead while choosing the subjects for your UG.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, okay, cool. Of course, when it comes to mathematics, mathematics is one subject that student has this thing called phobia. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of them feel okay, I have done, but I may not be able to do at UG, matlab, entrance level. Yeah, I'm not that confident. So, anything with regards to mathematics, how they can cope up with?
All right. So as I told you about, mathematics might not be my core competence, but I
Correct.
have interacted with students who are, very good at mathematics. I have one classmate of mine who scored 200 out of 200 in mathematics in 2023. So when I interacted with him, he told me a few things for those math students, and it is that firstly they need to remove that phobia that if I can do class 12th examination Kavala maths, then will I be able to solve the maths required for entrance? Firstly, entrance are of two types. One, we have those JEE and NEET, JEE wale exams, and then we have a CUET. The level of CUET, the math that comes is not as difficult as what we see in definitely see in IIT JEE exams.
Correct.
But firstly, you need to understand that it is not impossible for you to solve. People have solved and scored 200 out of 200 or 250 out of 250 in the past as well. And secondly, subjects like mathematics and accountancy are very similar when they come in nature with respect to their preparation. They require a lot of conceptual clarity. In the examination, you're not required to show a lot of steps in these subjects. You're required to have that conceptual clarity to be able to arrive at the answer very quickly. And for that, you need to have your concepts clear. So you need to read the books, you need to watch YouTube lectures, you need to watch lectures, and you need to be very well versed with whatever the concept is around. And I'm talking about both the subjects. It's not just about mathematics, it's also about accountancy. No one is asking you to match the balance sheets. So it's just that how comfortable are you with the concept, and how quick are you on your calculations. That is it. I think it's not that hard जो हम देखते हैं generally in IIT JEE के exams. So if you're able to solve those with a lot of practice, so it's just two points. You need to have conceptual clarity in depth, and you need a lot of practice. That's it.
Okay, so anyhow, JEE and CUET mathematics are uncomparable. That's absolutely correct. North Pole, South Pole wala scenario hai in both the mathematics that are being asked. So yeah, absolutely. To come up to the arrive at the answer, because all the MCQ computer-based examination requires speed and time of yours,
Exactly.
along with the
Hmm.
conceptual clarity. Even if your concepts are clear, it's still taking time to come to the conclusion. The computer-based tests are not for you. Okay, you need to pick up yourself and fasten your time limit to
Hmm.
come to the conclusion. Okay, Apratim, there's one thing that they asked that do I have to take same subject I studied in class 12th for the domain subjects? Is it
Yes, that's a requirement for the CUT examinations in the UG. You have to take those domain subjects that you have studied in class 12.
okay? Okay, so so there can be one thing that while you're picking up your subject in class 12th, you need to foresee कि
Yep.
CUET UG is will be there, and I need to make sure my subjects are aligning with the two for 12th and the UG. Okay. Is it?
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah,
yeah,
please,
and it's a
please.
problem faced by many of the science students who want to later enter into
Directly.
the commerce domain.
Mhm.
So you need to be, well versed with what are the requirements of the different universities, which university are you targeting, and you need to, pre-plan accordingly.
Correct, correct. So this entire thing इस हिसाब से तो it start at 11 के end में ही while opting
Yep, yep,
for the, even if you can.
exactly.
Okay, because earlier on it was pretty easy for even the science background students to jump the ship if they're not able to crack IITs. They used to come and do BSc Economics, BA
Yep,
Economics.
yep,
Mm,
yep.
okay, so
It's
so
not
I.
actually not sorry to cut you short, but it's not actually that hard as of now as well, since
Mhm,
they've mentioned in that list. I was going through it the other day itself.
mhm.
They have mentioned it in the sense that you need to have one language, that is
Okay,
list A, and any domain subjects from list B. So if your subject is listed in that particular list of list B, and you had taken that in class 12, you can still appear in it, even if it's physics or if it's chemistry. So you need to check with the requirements very clearly, and you need to be very, concise with the words, what they
ah,
say.
exactly what they are asking, because this is the main issue with Delhi University. Maybe other universities are pretty open or flexible in that regard, but DU के case में they are pretty strict about your 12th and UG के domains to choose. Okay, okay, fair enough. Another is is the general test mandatory for everyone?
No, it's not mandatory for everyone. As I said, you can also always have an alternative option on your hand. It might be mandatory for a few courses. I have the list on my screen right now. It's on the CUT website. You can always go and check there.
Mm,
But talking for BCom program, BCom honors,
mm.
it is optional. You don't have to go for it mandatorily. It's You can choose domain subjects as well along with the language. So it's not mandatory for everyone unless and until your course and your university specifies it to be so.
Correct. Cool. Cool. This is among many students asking उस तरीके से. Another is कि the one that we were discussing, can I switch streams? Like
Yes, yes,
science student wanting to do economics.
yeah, definitely they can.
Okay,
And there have been many examples in Delhi University too.
great, great. Okay. And okay. Of course, subjects कितने लेने, choose कौन से करने. This is very picky thing काफी ज़्यादा when it comes to CUET UG, right? So they're asking like how many subjects should I ideally pick to maximize my chance. I don't know how this algorithm works out that you choose maximum number of subjects or less number of subject and you are maximizing or minimizing your chances. Anything on that if you have?
Yeah, exactly. And I thankfully you've reminded me of this because I was going to tell them that when I tell you to choose between mathematics or accountancy for the fact, or between
Mm-hmm.
general test and some other subject, I don't tell you to do not fill that subject that you're not choosing in your CUT exam form. I
Mm-hmm.
would always suggest students to go for all the five subjects. You have a limit of five. Fill
Mm-hmm.
in every subject. How the university operates. So, like if you've chosen a particular five set of subjects and you are opting for a particular course, the
Mm-hmm.
university will always check the best combination out of the five. So, if the university requires four subjects and एक में आपका खराब गया है, university will not consider that while giving you the seat allocation. It will always consider the best possible, optimal combination of subjects for your seat allotment. So I always advise, and even I did that. My requirement was English, accountancy, business studies, and economics, but I still did feel the general test examination just to keep myself a little safe in case any one of the exam falls short. I can always back it up with general test. So, I would always advise you to go for all the subjects, fill in all the subjects, but the preparatory focus should always be upon the subjects that are your core competence.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. Okay. So the thumb rule is very simple. Focus on your strength. Focus on what you're good at. Of course, this maximization of subject is there, but you need to have a strong hold. And that is good point from the university side. Like in our 12, we used to have the best 4 का percentage for the
Yeah,
cut.
yeah, exactly.
University is doing themselves आपके लिए. They are picking up
Yes,
the
yes.
top score. Good.
They'll pick up the best possible outcome for you.
Okay, okay. So I guess when we talk about it's out of the line in terms of queries, when we talk about CUT UG, right? The very first name that comes to our mind is Delhi University only, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So when you started your journey so when exactly at which stage you decide कि okay now I'm starting my CUT UG preparation in class 12. What was the time? Boards के आसपास or the start of class 12? When did you
So
exactly?
my story was a little unconventional. I completed my class 12 in 2022. I filled the CUET form for that year, but I didn't appear in the examination because I was having a very important tournament going on at that time. I
Mm,
performed well in the tournament. I was almost selected in the state side, but due to unforeseen circumstances and under the table things, I was not able to make it to the team despite being selected.
ah,
Because of corruption, I had to quit cricket. And then cut to December 2022, my brother advised me to appear for the CUT exams and have a proper degree so that I can have a secured future. And then I appeared and I started preparing for the CUT examination. So I was basically a dropper.
mm,
I started preparing for the CUT examinations around January 2023. Yeah. I had 4 to 5 months of dedicated preparation, and
mm.
that was enough for me.
Okay, okay, nice. So मतलब, even if you start for let's say 2026 somewhere around January, and even if you had done little bit of background
That's
work,
more than enough. Yeah, that's more
base,
than enough.
correct. Okay. Okay. So this is directly for you. Matlab, if I want to do BCom honors, do I really need mathematics?
No, the university prescribes you to give you an option. You can also choose accountancy in your domain subject instead of mathematics.
Okay. The follow-up is from me. कि, of course, BCom honors, BA economic honors, these are the two top-notch degrees out there at Delhi universities. With the maximum, of course, you have history and English as well. ठीक है. But then, how do students decide which one to go for? Of course, one thing is interest, area of
Hmm.
interest, commerce or economics. So, what was the deciding factor for you? Did you had that keen interest in commerce from class 12th itself, or you really had option की नहीं BCom honors एक option है and other alternative is let's say XYZ. How was
So
it?
I have a family background wherein all people from my family have a science background.
Okay.
They're either lecturers in physics, or my father is a doctor, my brother is an engineer. But due to time constraints of and commitment towards cricket, I was not able to imbibe science into my curriculum because it requires a lot of time and effort. So I chose commerce, and eventually I fell in love with whatever I was studying. That was accidental, but it was very pretty. That was my story. But if I give a general answer as to what should be the considerations while choosing which subject combination, which course you want to do,
Correct.
it should always be based upon the general interest. And along with it, you should research a bit about the curriculum that is being taught. So for while choosing BCom honors, I did see that yes, we are being taught mathematics, business mathematics. We'll be taught about financial management. We'll be taught about marketing. We'll be taught about XYZ and number of things that are actually related to the real world. And that really helped me a lot. Today, because of the grace of God, I'm even placed through the college campus at a job related to marketing itself, which I had studied, which helped me crack the interview of the job.
Nice.
So that these things matter a lot. You should be firstly concerned with the area of interest, and secondly, you should do your proper background research as to what they are teaching you. So
Oh,
that would help you align your future aspirations and your current interest.
things will fall in place. You need to first take action and start the journey. Good.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So if someone, let's say, takes an alternate in the sense, okay, DU has offered you, if you don't have maths, don't want to take up maths, it's fine. You have the alternate of accountancy and so, okay. But what about when you start your 3 year, 4 year journey of BCom honors at DU? How demanding mathematics is, how much it comes, how much it will come and test you. Like for the admission, you have taken the alternate route to get the seat, right?
Exactly,
But what
exactly,
about the
exactly.
semesters?
So, this is a very right question, and I think I might be the best person in the room to answer this question right now because I was a non-math student.
Oh,
I did not have maths in class 12 due to again commitment issues. So, we had this subject, business mathematics, in semester three. At this point, if you're a non-math student or if you took a different route, you are weak in mathematics, you
mhm.
should be aware that you will be studying this subject in this semester. And from the beginning of the semester, you should mentally and academically start preparing yourself. That is what I started doing. I started, opening up the books. I started attending. I had a very, interesting case that I had 100% attendance in business mathematics in the whole semester. I didn't miss a single class. I listened to the lectures carefully, took
Uh,
all the notes, practiced from the book whatever questions were there. Had I faced any problem, I always referred to YouTube as well. But secondly, and it's not very hard when it comes to university level because they know there are students coming from non-math background as well. So they'll keep it easy, but still you should be aware and you should be practicing yourself, and it's not that difficult. And I even ended up scoring a 10 GPA in that subject, so
I
it's not
mean,
that difficult to be honest.
no, considering your background, you mentioned 10 CGPA, the marks are pretty good. But the first step that you took is by attending the subject 100% for the one you never studied or you were not good at. Okay, it takes a toll to sit there in the class. जहाँ पे
Exactly.
you're kind of completely blank, boss. I haven't done that, but I'm sitting here to learn and make sure that I score marks out of it. Good, good.
Exactly.
Nice, nice. Okay. So now coming to something related to the form filling and all. Okay, let me just take a question from here. Gaurav is asking, can you also see the comment section, ek bari?
Yes, yes, I can.
Ah,
Uh,
I'll also read out for the others as well. I'm planning to appear, Gaurav is asking, planning to appear for CUET 26. Can you please tell me how can I manage CUET with college, or should I go stop going class and start preparing for CUET? I'm very confused right now. So, okay, okay.
All
He's
right. So, all right. Okay. So, Gaurav, firstly, you should be, maintaining your CGPA as well. You should not leave college completely because CUT is again a very unpredictable exam. You cannot be very sure as to you would be able to crack a good college. I should say you should think a little more practically at this moment you should be able to manage both, and for managing that you need to divide your time as to how much time would you be dedicating for CUET needs 2 to 3 hours of dedicated prep each day, and on college days that I'm talking about. On weekends you can dedicate more time to CUET, and rest days on weekdays you can dedicate 2 hours, 3 hours, and rest of the time you can dedicate towards your college studies. It's a little overwhelming at times, but you can always do that and crack a good college if you get a chance in CUT 2026. And even if you don't get a good college, you can still manage and maintain a decent CGPA, which would help you during your placements at PGDAV. So it's just about time allocation. It's very similar to how people prepare for the common aptitude test, also known as CAT. The working professionals, they work on the weekdays, they study 2 hours on the weekdays, and then on weekends they dedicate extra time towards the competitive exam. That's how it goes.
Correct, correct. So maybe for Gaurav, this will be the start of managing two things together, because
Exactly, exactly.
for someone who wants to do MBA going forward, and they are working in MNCs and good companies, they also need to manage the official work with the weekend classes for their MBA coaching. So
Exactly.
if you're targeting something big, you will have to come up with some sort of balancing, some sort of compromise as well in between. Okay, nice. Okay, so couple of quick questions. Is the syllabus strictly NCERT class 12, or do I need to study class 11 topics too?
So talking about accountancy and business studies, business studies, the subject is the syllabus is strictly confined to class 12. I would say you should definitely read NCERT for that subject, and that is something that I have been vouching for since 2023. So,
Hmm.
and I would still vouch for it. Business studies. For economics, you do have an element of microeconomics introduced into your subject curriculum for this year onwards. So, you always have to go for microeconomics as well. In that case, you have to study for that 11th wala portion. And IED, the Indian Economic Development, YouTube lectures, and NCRT is the go-to. I saw a few of the lectures of Artha Point as well, for judging the accuracy of the lectures. But I think they were on point. They were bang on, because they're exactly teaching what a student needs to have. They're developing it in the form of a story, because IED at times
Good.
it's related to history, so it can get boring. So you need to, watch YouTube lectures and read NCRT for the keywords, because keywords are very important for CUET. And apart from it, for accountancy also, it's just class 12, so it's not that difficult overall.
Overall, it's your class 12th that what you have been doing throughout.
Yeah, just for economics, it's microeconomics included this year.
Cool, cool. Okay, so before we wrap up, couple of quick questions, okay, and then we'll have a detailed session about the forms, filling, and registration process that you can take up later. But these are very straightforward and simple questions like, can I add more universities later if I forgot to select them in the form?
There is a correction window that opens between the second and the that will be opening between the 2nd and 4th of February.
Okay.
So most probably you should be able to add. I'm not very sure about this question though,
Hmm.
but you might be able to add a few there. You might have to cross
Okay.
check it once.
Because you always, चाहे वो UG हो PG हो, you have a correction window, but
Yeah, you have it.
not all particulars you can change. There are few
Yeah.
particulars that you can change. So that maybe while sharing the session on how to fill up the form, we can discuss it later.
And exactly that is why we have been given an option of 27 odd days to fill the form. So you can always, take your time and
Take.
decide as to which universities.
Okay. The others kind of related to that outrightly. Okay. So is there any sort of negative marking in section 3 general test?
There is negative marking in CUET examinations. It's around, I think if I'm not wrong, it's minus +5 for every right answer and -1 for every wrong answer. So you should be very careful with the attempts. You should not, attempt all the questions, or Jai Mata Di does not work in CUET. So, so you should be very well versed with the topics.
Great, great. ठीक है. Let me just see 1 second. So again, something that you already mentioned, that if I have taken a drop year, will it impact my admission or future prospects?
No, it has nothing to do with your admissions or any of the future prospects.
Okay, cool, cool. ठीक है. We'll keep it this much for this session with them. ठीक है. And because I want students to really see this session first, they might still have few more queries, or some of them might not even have started registration abhi. ठीक है. So before anything from you before we wrap up the session for the all the students appearing aspirants. Yeah.
Just a final few words is that, firstly, I will stay connected with Artha Point for a while now because I genuinely want to give back what I've gotten as of now. And just I would want to say is be very consistent with your prep and practice a lot. Consistency and practice are again two things that I've been watching for since 2023. Just go with that, go with the flow, listen to your heart, and don't let the outside noise disturb you much, because there are at times people would want to misguide you or would want to put extra pressure on you. Just stay calm and you will be able to rock it. It's not that hard.
Okay, I guess Pranjal raised his hand. If you have, you can unmute or you can ask it in the chat window, Pranjal.
Yeah, hi, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yes, Panch.
Hi, Pratim Bhaiya. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Yeah.
I guess if you remember, we have talked earlier at night. I've called you.
Yes,
So,
Pranchal, I remember.
I'll give you guys a brief. I'm Pranjal. I'm from Lucknow. I took science subject, and I'm currently preparing for CUT as in BBA and BMS course. So, I'll talk about the subject combination, as Sir said that. There is a bit problem in subject for science students. So I've talked to Apratim Bhaiya, and he suggested me that in science also you can take English, GAT, and the three of your domain subjects, right?
Right.
Correct.
So I would like you to brief me about how to prepare for at least maths, physical education, and English.
Okay. Okay, so I'll start off with the English first, Pranjal, because English is something that is again, it's a very vast topic, and many people have a lot of problems with that. So for vocabulary, I suggest a book to most of the students out there, and it's Word Power Made Easy. It gives you all the required root words that are necessary for competitive exams at the UG level. So that book would suffice. And for reading comprehension, you can always refer to a lot of question banks that are available online. You can always read. You have to develop a habit of reading. You can read newspapers. And if you want to go a little above the bar, you can always attempt CAT RCs. But I would not suggest that to everyone, because since they are actually hard. But in CUT, the RCs are very straightforward. They're not that typical, and you need to just focus on what is being said, what's the central idea of the passage. And for vocab, I've already suggested you that. For grammar, again, we can pick any book of your choice. It's not that difficult, to be honest, and you might even find a few YouTube clips here and there. Coming to mathematics, I would personally recommend you to go for YouTube lectures, since it involves active learning. So that's the importance of YouTube lectures when it comes to practical subjects, because reading books for practical subjects, you miss on to small little key point, and then you're not able to solve questions. You get frustrated, and then in the end you think that the subject is difficult in itself. Well, that's not the case. You've missed one important detail that's leading to such a big loop. So, you should always refer to YouTube lectures. I think Artho Point has uploaded mathematics lectures as well, so you can always refer to them. Their lectures are, obviously up to the mark. And apart from it, for physical education, I've always again vouched for theory subjects. I've always vouched for NCERT, because there are keywords, and CUT would always test you on those keywords only. Note them down and memorize them, read them over and over again, so that they get imprinted in your head. That's it. That's all you need.
Okay. So will NCRT will be enough for maths, or should I, pursue or solve any other book?
I would say you can refer to NCERT, you can solve the questions, but for that extra practice, as I've said in the starting of the session as well, you need a little extra practice in these practical subjects. You can always refer to the questions that are being solved in the online classes or the YouTube lectures that you're watching. I think that's more than
Okay.
enough to be very fair.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
My
Pranjal.
pleasure.
Okay.
So, as a final, sorry.
Please carry on.
No, I was just asking as a final, subject selection, it will be maths, English, physical education, uh, physics, and GAT, as I, talked to Apratim Bhaiya in past. So, will it be okay to register in these subjects for
Yeah,
BMS
exactly.
and BBS programs?
Yeah, exactly. That would be fine. As we talk, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, Pranjal. Because we were discussing, so just one quick question, Apritam, related to English only. So, how's the level of English CUT UG mein? Because you have, I'm not sure, you have two types of English taught at, I'm not sure, different type of aptitude level students have when it comes to English, right? So, according to
Mm-hmm.
you, what's the level of English? You mentioned RC is pretty competitive, right? So reading
Mm-hmm.
comprehension, we are used to कि हाँ just एक छोटा सा पढ़ा and we'll be able to solve it. So what's the
Yeah, they're
level
not
of
they're not very typical to be honest, sir, because what we prepare for during CAT or for other competitive exam, it's not that hard when it comes to that. English has always been difficult in COT because of the vocabulary and because of the new questions that they add every year. Because there's no defined syllabus for English up to now for COT UG. So what they did in my year, they added a few foreign words ka meaning in English ka exam. So you need to be prepared for those. That's what the deciding factor is for English. That's it. And that is what makes it hard because vocab again is very vast. You need to learn the root words. You can't learn the millions of words that are there in English. You need to have the clarity upon the root words. So that is what you can do overall. And apart from it, if you want to strengthen grammar, you can always go to the basics. You can get to know about the basics of verbs but I think most of the students who are actually serious with their preparation are already aware of the grammar portion. So it's just the reading comprehension, the focus and clarity. You should be, very well focused upon the main point of the author. What is the author? Why is the author speaking to you? That's it. That's all about reading comprehension. And for vocab, I've already suggested that book.
Cool. Good, good. Thank you so much, Apitam. Thank you for your time. Maybe next week we'll have something related to all the details related to the form and everything.
Sure,
That
sure,
will
sure.
help our students because as of now also they are just coming out of New Year hangover and focusing
Mhm.
on boards as well. So maybe then
Exactly.
they'll start registration. Okay, thank you so much
So,
for your time. Thank you.
thank you.
Good night,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you, everyone.